Welcome back to Inside Texoma. We are talking about Crimestoppers and really how this nonprofit program is making such a big difference in Texoma. Now, we've talked a lot about what you need to do, even how those who call in through this anonymous program are rewarded, but now we want to talk about how those rewards are, of course, paid out, and they're done through fundraisers. So, right. Of course, the big fundraiser to make all of this happen coming up this Saturday, we definitely want to mention that, is the Crimestoppers annual fun run. So can you tell us all about the fun run? Basically a motorcycle, bike ride.
You can go online, go to the Crimestoppers page. Mm-hmm. I think the city also has a link to it. And you can register, fill out the registration form and send it in. Or if you can actually just come the morning of the ride and register then. Registration starts at 7:30, and it's going to be, the starting point is going to be Eddie Hills on Scott Street. It's $30 for the rider and $15 for the passenger. And we're going to have T-shirts and bandanas, and we'll have some prizes at the end. And it's going to be almost a 100-mile ride, and we're going to go to 4 different stops, and the last stop is going to be at Harley-Davidson.
All taking place October the 6th. Do you need to go ahead and sign up beforehand, though, if you're coming that morning?
Well, it relieves a lot of stress for me if you do.
Okay.
But you don't have to. I prefer it that way, just I can get an idea of how many people are going to be there, because that also helps me out how many board members I need to get to show up, or if I need to try to get some extra volunteers. It makes my life a little bit easier. That's okay if you don't want to.
Don't not come if that's the reason, if you didn't have time to or something, right. Correct?
Of course, we always take donations too. I mean, there are people that will give us donations just because they like the program. So of course we always like that. And
that's important, right? Because like you said, it was the biggest year last year. So want to have those funds there to continue.
Yeah. That's the thing about Crimestoppers. It's not going to exist if we don't have the funds to use to pay the informants.
Sure.
I mean, if that stops, then the phone calls will stop.
And unfortunately, that means the drugs stay on the streets.
Exactly.
The criminals aren't behind bars. News Channel 6 is one of the sponsors for this event. You're going to see lots of commercials and stuff. I know you've probably already been seeing them running on our station, of course, reminding you about this and letting you know much more about the fun run. We will even put a link, I know you can see it on your screen, newschannel6now.com. You can go there and find out much more about signing up for this. That way you can register and be ready to go come Saturday. I want to definitely encourage everyone to get out and get involved again this Saturday, October the 6th. Well, we need to take another quick break, so stick around. We'll be right back with more. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. I am talking with Officer Woodruff about the Crimestoppers program, and really we just want to remind everyone before we leave today how you can, get involved, and really, if you have a tip you'd like to share, what you need to do. So, can you give them that number again?
I can.
To call.
Okay. You need to call 322-9888, and if you're calling long distance, it's 1-800-322-9888. You can call 24 hours a day. Somebody's always going to talk to you.
Okay.
Now it could be if it's on the weekends or it's after hours, you're going to talk to an answering service, but they're going to treat you exactly the same way that I would, or my partner Joe would, and get the information that you have. They'll sign you a number, and I'll get all that information when I come in the next day, and then of course you can call me back with your number, and I'll be able to identify you through the number that I have.
Okay.
So it sounds kind of complicated, but it's really not. It's pretty simple.
I really like how there's just no name connected. I guess, a lot of times you may be under the understanding that well, someone knows who I am, or there is someone who may know, and therefore others are going to find out.
Yeah, I've had numerous conversations with people about this when they call. Well, I'm not sure if I want to tell you anything because I don't want anything bad to happen to me or my family. Like, I don't know who you are. And then they go, well, you have caller ID. I said, no, I don't. I don't have caller ID. I have no idea who you are. I said, I tell them the only reason why anybody's going to know anything is because you go tell them.
Yeah.
That's the only way. So if they can, not tell them themselves, then they don't have anything to worry about.
And I think that's such an important message just to remind people of once again, when we say anonymous and give you that number, it's the truth. So it really is. And that's a good point about caller ID, because so often you think, oh, well, you don't need my name. You're seeing I'm calling. But that's not.
Well, you don't have that.
Not a concern. They don't have information, but they'd still like to help Crime Stoppers. They can always volunteer, correct?
Absolutely. They can call me at 761-777-7 4 sevens. And if you want to volunteer for an upcoming event, I'll just take your name and your phone number, and I'll keep you on file. And when we need somebody, we'll call you.
Okay. And of course, board members. I mean, if you'd really like to get involved.
Yeah, if you have an interest in becoming a part of the board, we can look into that also.
Okay.
We have our board that will talk to them. That's not my responsibility for the board, but we can get the right people set up that you can talk to if someone does have some interest in being a board member.
We want to thank you for being here today and giving us an insight look into Crime Stoppers, and we appreciate everything that you do and the rest of the officers do every single day to serve Texoma. So thank you so much. We want to thank you, Texoma. Thank you for calling in and of course passing along those tips, and thank you for joining us this morning. We hope you have a great day, and as always, we'll see you back here next Sunday morning.